So the son spends 275K on that money on personal girlfriend.
In mid-2018, 29-year-old Grant was unemployed, living rent-free in his parents' guest house in the rural village of Chuleota, Florida. He had not once lived on his own and had recently been kicked out of an anesthesiology school for lack of attendance and also fired from a job as a nurse for stealing medication. It was around that time when he decided to experiment with the relatively new realm of online cam sites. These platforms differ from regular porn sites in that they are interactive. Instead of watching a pre-recorded video, users can solicit live performances from models in exchange for money. This allows individuals to watch whatever acts they want, but at a price. Using his brother's credit card, he browsed through multiple cam models, spending an average of 20 minutes on each one. Yet it was on the 5th of June when forensics discovered he came in contact with a performer who went by the stage name of Sylvie. And over the following 6 months, Grant would spend over $200,000 of his family's money on this one model. The entirety of his father's life savings that he had saved up from working as a pharmacist for over 30 years was gone. He had spent $60,000 from his brother's credit card and had also taken a $65,000 loan out on the house. When his family found out, instead of calling the police, Grant was sent to a behavioral rehabilitation facility for online porn addiction.
The more we try to run from shame, the stronger it becomes.
When Grant got back from rehab on January 4th, his father presented him with a 2-page list of rules he was required to follow if he wanted to continue living at home. One of the conditions was that he cease all communication with Sylvia immediately, but it took just 3 weeks for the family to discover that he had broken the contract and re-established contact with the model via Twitter. On January 24th, when Chad Amato got home from work, he reportedly confronted Grant over his disregard, and the two of them got into a heated argument which almost turned into a physical altercation. Grant was then kicked out of the house, and for the first time in his life, he was on his own. Shortly before 9 a.m. the next morning, police received a call from Cody Amato's girlfriend, alerting them that he had failed to show up to work that morning and hadn't responded to multiple phone calls. They arrived at the residence at 9:17 a.m., and once knocks on the front door went unanswered, they were able to gain access with a knife via the back entrance. Chad, Margaret, and Cody Amato were all found lying dead on the floor with gunshot wounds to the head from a 9mm handgun. Grant became the immediate prime suspect, as a witness statement from Cody's girlfriend advised police of the confrontation that had occurred the night before, as well as the collection of bizarre circumstances that had led to that point. He was traced to a hotel in Orlando.
You're being cooperative, sir. We appreciate that. Some Seminole County detectives want to talk to you, so we're going to get the handcuffs off of you.
Nothing in your pants, correct?
It's just a normal routine when we encounter someone that we want to make sure you're safe. Now we know you don't have any weapons. We'll get those restraints off of you. We're confident you've been cooperative, everything's good, so we appreciate that very much. It goes a long ways.
He immediately agreed to accompany them to the police station and sit down for an interview. Reports stated that he wasn't made aware of his family's demise, nor was he advised as to what the purpose of the interview was for. Grant himself didn't once inquire, just reportedly sat silent in the back seat of an unmarked police car, staring out the window for the entire journey to the police station.
Did you know why? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, he like say something. Why is he arrested or something? This comes to pieces.
So you got to watch Coke or anything?
No. I'll hold off on that.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Eva.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm here.
Just to restate, he has not been told, nor given any insinuation as to why he is sitting inside an interrogation room, and has not once inquired himself.
Hey, we really appreciate you coming over with us.
That's the pieces.
If any time during this you need to stop and go to the bathroom, want a drink, then just let me know, and we'll be happy to do it. My name is Danny Anderson, and I'm a deputy Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Is Eva.
The investigator's initial plan is to establish a friendly connection with the suspect, which can often be a highly effective tactical procedure to elicit a more detailed discourse. Yet on this occasion, something seems to get lost in the endeavor, which you'll just have to see for yourself when the time comes. This is one of the most fascinatingly aggravating interrogations to ever be released into the public domain.
So we just want to talk to you a little bit, and we'll get this in and out, be on our way. Okay? Full name?
My full name is Grant Tiernan Amato.
What is there any special nursing degree? What you do, or?
I mean, I have like other certifications. But I mean, with that, like I primarily worked in the hospital for I think 5 or 6 years. Well, I was accused of grand theft of the third degree back in June of 2018. There was no evidence ever presented. All the charges were dropped. I had been applying for jobs for the last couple weeks. I'd gotten like 3 or 4 callbacks, and then I went on a job interview yesterday for a home infusion nurse job.
What time was your interview yesterday?
It was scheduled for 10. I got there at around 9 in the morning. And then I think we actually had the interview at about 9:45.
How'd that go?
I mean, it was all good. They didn't have anything. They said that they'd probably be getting back to me by Tuesday or Thursday this coming week.
Get you back to work?
Yeah, because I mean, it's like it's a crappy world when you don't have any money, you can't do anything. So
financially, how's the nursing what you did? I'm sorry, I just don't know that much. She knows a lot more about nursing. The nursing, how does it pay? How does it pay?
I mean, if you work your standard 12 hours a week, you get anywhere between I'd say $45,000 and $55,000 a year. So I mean, it's not bad. I think my best year I made like $55,000. Because I rarely worked overtime.
Right.
When I was just because I had the whole plan of going to graduate school, so I was just kind of using it as a stepping stone for that time.
Just to pay the bills to get you where you gotta. Gotcha. And what you were going for, what does that pay?
Nurse anesthesia pays. I mean, base like about 150 up to 175.
Yes.
Okay. High school, where'd you go?
I went to Timber Creek.
How were your grades?
High school and the first 2 years of college, I was A, B, C. I was in honors in the major program for UCF. Girlfriends. I had like my high school sweetheart girlfriend for about 5 years, and then ever since then, no like official girlfriends, no flings or anything like that. Dates occasionally, but I mean not really. Kind of focused on like just getting through the life goals that I wanted to achieve.
What do you like to do?
What do I like to do? I like to watch anime.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
I thought you said MMA. I'm like, okay, and then when you started explaining to it,
I mean, I guess
now.
It's animated. It's like cartoons, I guess you could say, but it's Japanese cartoons. It is in Japanese, and then they subtitle it. Yeah.
You speak Japanese?
I was gonna say, do you understand?
I don't. I understand a few words. We actually just went to me, my brother, and one of my friends, or I guess friends from high school. We went to Japan.
How long have you been out of work?
I've been out of work for 6 months, since June.
How did you pay? That's a lot of money for to be out of work.
My brother.
Oh,
yeah. I think the only other game that we really played was Fortnite, but then that was starting to get to like.
That's a big deal right now.
Yeah.
The younger
kids are all over it.
And actually, during the time that I was that I wasn't working as a nurse, I tried to do the whole Twitch streaming thing.
What is that?
I'm
sorry.
No.
We have to explain a lot of this to us.
With Twitch, it's you got your mic and you have your face cam, and then basically people are just watching you play whatever game you're going to say that you're playing.
Okay.
On virtual reality, it was primarily just Beat Saber, so it's like a rhythm-based game, like Guitar Hero. Apart from that, we really didn't get into too many other games yet, because we were kind of just focused on Beat Saber. But I think we had downloaded a few other where it's just like you're going through like a world and you can interact with the world or something like that.
Close with your brother Cody? Let's talk about Cody.
Oh yeah. Me and Cody.
Who's older, you or him?
He is. I'm the youngest one. I'm 29. He's 31. Okay. My oldest brother Jason is 35 or 36 now.
Tell me about Cody.
Cody. We decided to go to nursing school together. We decided to go to the nurse anesthesia school together. A lot of people thought that it was weird because we did everything together and because we were so close, but yeah, I mean...
Yeah, a lot of people understand the bond of brothers, though.
Yeah.
The true bond if you're close with your brother.
And I mean, during like this whole time, I mean, kind of like with just a few examples I've given you, he'd take care of everything for me.
Always there for you.
Yeah.
Always there to support you.
Always there. Yeah, did everything together, connected at the hip.
Ever any issues really with him?
No, like I was saying, during this last 6 months, it had been a very trying time. He would like have his moments where he would get extremely upset. Like you know, he never gets violent, I guess you could say. But like at one point, he got so upset that he like pushed a cabinet and then it like dented into the wall. Yeah, I mean, at least with me, he's always been like where he's there for me. Like whatever it takes, regardless of what's happening, I'm gonna take care of it for you.
What about your mom?
My mom has
It must have been a bizarre sight for the detectives to witness, when a man who had just allegedly shot his mother in the back of the head gave a reminiscent smile when she was brought up in the discussion.
She's always been the, kind of like Cody, she's always been the one that focused on me, and,
Were you the baby? You were truly the family baby?
For my mom.
So like she's...
Yeah.
Okay.
For my mom.
Mom's favorite?
Yeah. You know, countless times my dad would like come up to me and he'd make like me feel like he'd try and use things and word things to make me feel guilty so that I would, you know, do everything that I can, like get a job.
Almost like a motivation.
Right. And he'd tell me time and time again that, you know, you're her favorite. I mean, she would do anything for you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't need to hear that. I mean, that's not what would motivate me.
Sure.
But no, with mom,
still complaining.
I think we yelled at each other a grand total of like 3 or 4 times my whole life. Never any issues. I mean, it was always, like, if there was somebody that I could talk to and, like, Cody wasn't available, I'd always talk to my mom. I'd always let her know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, she would help me out through anything.
Okay. Tell me about Dad.
Dad,
what does he do?
Dad's a pharmacist.
Okay.
He works for CVS. He's been a pharmacist for, I think, 35 years or so. My dad was a very, like, angry, violent type person.
Overbearing.
Yeah.
You know, like baseball practice, it'd be like for 4 or 5 hours, and he's hurling the ball as fast as an adult can, and we're like 7th to 8th grade trying to catch this stuff.
Belittle you?
He would belittle me when I was younger. The problem, I guess, was that I was always like the jokester, the one that could calm everybody down, make everybody smile. If it was a heated situation, I could say a joke or something and then make everybody kind of move past it. And I was just in the point where it's like, you know, I'm hearing, you know, all this stuff from Dad. I'm seeing how much Cody's helping me. You know, Mom's stressed out with her job. And it's like I'm not doing anything.
When's the last time your dad put his hands on you?
The last time my dad put his hands on me would be...
It's a bad question. Get a lawyer.
I'd say... kind of the middle of December of 2018.
Truthful.
It's because, you know, with all the money that had been getting spent and...
Just to be clear, the CAM model has not yet been brought up in the discussion. The money being spent, in this context, would simply be his living expenses.
I guess just a mix of everything that I've been saying, just kind of boiling up in him. And the fact that I was, to him, it seemed like I wasn't concerned about it. So, and then plus I was, you know, I wasn't acting like myself with the jovialness and, you know, all that kind of stuff. My father chose to admit me to like a depression or an addiction clinic or something like that in Fort Lauderdale called Cornerstone.
When was that?
That was December 22nd.
Okay.
Until I think January 4th.
Did you agree to go?
I didn't, but they said that, you know, this was your only...
Who said?
My dad.
Okay.
And that was in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, yeah.
Did your mom agree with it?
My mom and my brother both agreed, but it was my dad who was like the iron fist, like, this is what's going to happen. Like, you know, he can't...
Why did he say you needed to go? What was his reasoning?
Because with the way that I was acting, he didn't see that I was doing anything for, like, the positive. You know, and a lot of it just came back to money with him. He would like allow me to spend money that he had, like with his credit card or something like that. But it's like then whenever I did, it was like a huge problem.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying?
Yes, okay.
Well, what I was doing
Giving
is
his credit card.
over the
Just like
past
that.
4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's as embarrassing as it is.
He
She's
brought
a
it up.
she's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model. Do
Alright.
either of you guys know what that
Nope.
is?
Just like all the videos, Jeff, you have to tell us.
A cam model, it's like it's
It's
like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Like that type of situation.
Want him to
So,
explain
a lot of the money went to her.
Okay, where's she at?
it.
She
Explain his
lives in
thoughts.
Bulgaria.
Where?
Bulgaria,
Where's that?
over in Europe. It's like
Okay.
outside of Germany.
Okay.
Something like that.
You ever been there?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
So
Okay.
what would you give her money for?
mean,
Just
gratis
for like
and anything about
time
Europe.
online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like that type of thing.
And what did she charge?
$600 for like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens, then you use the company's digital currency for that.
So you do that, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on Twitter,
Okay.
just through direct messaging. Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't use the chatting like
How
that.
much
The
do
guy
you
is
think you
actually
spent
molding.
on this? 'Cause it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah,
You can see that.
probably close to like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000?
Yeah.
And where'd the money come from?
Money came from me, my brother, and then my dad.
Yeah.
Did they know where the money was going to?
They didn't know that it was going to a cam model.
What did you
I
tell
was
them?
saying that it was going towards my Twitch streaming, like
Beginning stuff.
advertising, like putting my name out there and that type of
Okay.
thing. So I guess to bring it all back with why I was brought to Cornerstone, it was a mix of all of those things.
Yeah,
Like
but
he
I
felt
spent
like,
what this is.
you know, he felt like,
You need to be grounded.
yeah. And so then I was there, I spoke to the therapist and psychiatrist and all that stuff. I didn't need any medications for anything. They had analyzed it as, this is an isolated event. You've been out of work, you have this PTSD from the whole getting arrested thing, and I mean, the last thing on my record was, I think, a speeding ticket back when I was at UCF. They had signed me up, I think, to be there for 60 days, but then I was only there until January 4th, so.
Who paid for that?
My brother, Cody.
What was the cost of that, do you know?
$15,000.
So their final diagnosis of you was what?
That I was fine. That,
Didn't need to be there.
yeah. That I was fine. I told them all about my living situation and how it had been stressful, and then it got better, and then now it's just stressful again. But they had all just said that it was just this isolated
Just
event.
situational PTSD from.
Right. When I got back, that's where my dad started to get really kind of overbearing, and I mean rightfully so. I know what I did, but it's like with him, it was every single day, hours a day. Hours a day. He'd come home from work, and then he would just talk to me just about the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again.
When was the last time that you and your dad did have, a heated conversation?
It would be Thursday.
2 days ago.
Because
Okay.
one of his rules was that I wasn't allowed to talk to the woman anymore that I had been talking to. But I guess you could say behind the scenes, my mom would let me talk to her through her cell phone using Twitter. So yeah, anyways, on Thursday, he had apparently found out that I was speaking to her again. It wasn't really my intention to continue talking to this woman, but it just kind of happened. And then because there was that emotional connection, I guess you could say, between her and me, I it felt like a relationship. I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it.
So Thursday, you're home all day
Yes.
with your mom. She works at home.
Correct. Yes.
Your dad's at work. What's his normal work hours?
He works until, I think he had to go in early that day, because he had to start doing overtime or something like that. And he normally works though from 5 or 6 in the morning to, I think he gets home between 5:30 and 6 at night or something like that.
What time do you get home that day?
He got home at like 5:30, and then he came in and then he asked me in a calmer state, I guess you could say, like basically the leading question of, you know, why do you think we're about to have this conversation? Giving me, I guess, that opportunity to be honest and truthful, to maybe tone it down a little bit. I, of course, did what I always did, where I kind of didn't admit to it. And then he came out and he told me that I had been doing that.
He had proof.
Yeah.
Have an argument?
Yeah. He kind of, you know, pulled me up from the couch, and then he was yelling at me to pack my shit up and just get out of the house. That he was the one who had to be the hammer, and that, you know, why am I making him have to go through this, and all this other kind of stuff.
Okay.
I had my argument, and then I'm packing my stuff. I'm, you know, taking it out to the car. It took me like a couple hours to get as much as I could, just kind of about into there. So I left.
Okay.
And then.
What time do you think you left about?
Oh God. 9 or 9:30 or so.
He goes on to state that he met up with his brother soon after on the side of the road.
And what was the conversation?
Conversation was basically that he was brought up to speed, you know, and that he would take care of it.
He was brought up to speed by what?
This is Grant attempting to
Take care
frame
of
his
it.
brother for a double murder-suicide. You will see this quote brought up repeatedly from this point forward.
He was brought up to speed on, like, why
He said Andy.
I'm out here.
Who brought him up to speed?
My mom.
Oh, so she talked to him?
Yeah.
He told you that Mom had talked to him?
Right.
Do you think that's why Cody left work?
According to Grant, Cody had left work a few hours early to meet up with him on the side of the road. Cody had indeed left work early, yet it wasn't to meet up with Grant. It was later proven that while Margaret Amato was sitting at the computer sipping on a glass of red wine, Grant shot her in the back of the head. He then lay in wait for his father to return to the house, then shot him twice in the head as he entered the kitchen. Cody then received a text from his father's number, asking him to come home urgently. Forensics believed that he was very likely pleading for his life soon after he entered the front door. He was found by police with a gunshot wound to the face, lying in the fetal position. His credit card was stolen, with a purchase made to a campsite for $600 and estimated 30 minutes later.
I mean, in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, he had been let off work early like three times already this week. So
10, 15 minutes you talk to Cody.
Right.
You have the conversation, and he leaves to go home?
Right.
And you leave to go where?
And then I stay in that general area just so that if anything happens, somebody like knows where I am. Yeah, I mean, I was staying in that general area, and then I decided to go
to Publix.
He just referred to the Publix supermarket parking lot. This is where he used the free Wi-Fi to log on to the campsite with his dead brother's credit card.
Which was about what time?
Jeez.
Like, between like midnight and 1, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
no
And you go to
boss.
Publix midnight 1, and how long did you stay there till?
I stayed there until like 7.
Slept there last night? Talked to anybody?
I messaged the girl that I'd been talking to
So
on
you kept
Twitter.
trying to-
Yeah.
On Twitter, so you have to pay for it.
Right.
Did she respond back to you?
I think once.
The discussion is then brought back to his last meeting with Cody.
And then when you left Cody, what did he say he was going to go do?
Cody said that he will take care of it.
Take care of what?
Just the situation that was at hand with
Yes, he said
whatever
so.
he had been updated with from my mom.
Did he tell you what he was updated?
He had told me the reason why, like, I had been kicked out. But he really didn't give me that much dialogue, like, about that situation. You know, he was miffed a little bit because, you know, he had just gotten off work and now he has to go deal with this.
But what was your demeanor? Like, what did Cody see you as? Like, were you
Like, scared.
upset?
Yeah,
Were
like,
you...
I was scared because, I mean, like I said, it's the first time that I had been out of the house.
We've come and talked to you.
Okay.
You rode up here
Yeah,
voluntarily
yeah.
with us to talk to us.
The detective will now initiate the first confrontation.
He's
Why do you
starting.
think we're having this conversation?
I honestly don't know, but I'm pretty freaked out at this point because,
One question.
you know, it's, I mean, I know, like, how the situation was when I left.
You're now about to see the lead interrogator's attempt at getting Grant to confess, in a manner so blatantly obvious that the suspect immediately sees through it.
As a child, we're told the truth always is the
No, we
best.
just realized.
Right?
Correct.
You agree with it?
Yeah.
And accidents happen, and things in the heat of the moment, things happen that we wish hadn't happened, but I do it myself sometimes. My kids will make me so aggravated, I'll snap at them and then walk away and say, wow, I wish I would not have done that. That was not very adult of me to snap at my child for something. Yes, they're wrong, but I should be the adult and not snap at them.
Right.
Tell me what you think, because I can tell I've done this for a long, long time, and I read people, the way they act, and the way they talk to me, and the way they answer questions. There's something you want to tell us. I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your body language, and just the way you act. Now's the time. Now's the time. If there's something you want to get off your chest and give us an explanation of what's bothering you, now is the exact time to do it. And I'm giving you that opportunity right now to tell me something you want to get off your chest. It's there. I can see it in your face. I can see it in your eyes.
Kept out about that night.
You're upset about it. You've been that since we've talked to you. I can see there's something been bothering you. Even though I don't know you from Adam's house, can't you see things in people that something's really bothering this guy? It's not that, I spent a bunch of money I shouldn't have on this girl. So be it. You did. It's over with. Money can be made back. Something's bothering you.
I'm just worried about what is all transpiring from this.
I think at this point right now, to be honest with you, Grant, you know what it is. It's in your eyes. Your eyes is the view to your soul, and it's in your eyes. And it sounds stupid, and people don't believe it. Like I told you out there in the car, did I not tell you? You may not like what I say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth every time, because I can walk in front of anybody in God and say, I don't care. I told him the truth.
And we usually know answers before we ask it.
Right.
Me and Eva knew everything before we asked you the questions. Now's the time to come to Jesus and be honest, because you're holding something back. I can see it in your eyes. People don't believe that the police will help you, but we are actually here to help you with issues you may have. I think something happened, and you don't want to tell us, but right now is the time to get it off your chest. And I really wish you would, because it will make you feel better in the end.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about the night or the periods of time afterwards.
There's only one opportunity to make that good impression, and if we've done something we shouldn't have done, you fess up there. You caught your hand in the cookie jar.
Detective Dan's approach here is so incredibly outdated and predictable that it actually seems to boost the suspect's confidence. It's the detective, in fact, who gives off a nervous disposition. He'll begin stumbling over his own words while simultaneously mixing up his analogies, which never made a great deal of sense to begin with.
So bad.
Do it. Now,
is there anything else that happened at the house
He's the one getting nervous.
that you've left out or we haven't asked you that would be of importance? Or during the time that you drove around for those few hours? Did you ever really go back to the house that you haven't told us about?
You'll also notice the female detective interject with something useful every now and then. But unfortunately, she's not the one leading this interrogation. That would be the detective who keeps bringing up Jesus, to a guy who just murdered his family to go jerk off in a parking lot to a Bulgarian cam model.
I know things that you don't know. And honesty will get you all the things I can do for you, to be honest. I can't deal with someone who lies to me, but I'll deal with someone and help them till the end, no matter what, believe it or not. That's just me, and she'll tell you, it's what it is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say, if I can do something that can help you, I'm going to help you, because every one of us make mistakes and do things we shouldn't have done in the heat of the moment to protect ourselves or to protect somebody else. It happens. Now's the time. Now is the time.
So what do you think happened?
I think that there was something that obviously happened at the house.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I know better. Listen to me. I know better. I can help you, Grant, with honesty. I can help you with honesty.
We think something else happened before you left the home that you're either afraid of or embarrassed to talk about. But we need to know exactly what happened, because like Danny said, we can place you there at certain times. And so we need to know what happened before you left that house, because you didn't leave with everything being okay.
I honestly, I don't have anything else that I can really say. I mean, I don't know.
Do you even know why law enforcement got involved? Like, what brought us to that home?
No.
Once you start telling me something that's truthful that I know, then we're going to have a conversation of exactly what happened.
I mean, you're a smart guy. You know something's happened at your home. You have law enforcement here. You haven't heard or gotten any emails from
I mean,
your family.
I'm just scared as to what the answer is.
Well, you need to help yourself by filling in the blanks of what happened that night so we can give you the answer. Did anything more happen with you and your father besides him grabbing you up from the couch and yelling at you and kicking you out? Anything at all? Did he harm you, hit you?
No.
Draw any weapons on you?
No, he didn't do anything like that. I mean, he was just yelling.
This is the time to come to Jesus, to be honest. Your eyes tell me exactly that you are hurting. I get it. Brother, I get it. You're hurting.
And this is the only time we can help you.
Because once we get to a certain point, there's nothing I can do. It's in the hands of who has it. Nothing I can do. Honesty is always the best policy. You get caught stealing a car, you admit to it, I did it, how can I get help? What can be done to help me? And let me tell you the rest of my story. You're holding back.
And if something happened that you were defending yourself, then we need to know that. If you were protecting yourself because you were in fear, then that makes sense. But we need to know exactly what happened
This
for you to protect yourself.
You can't minimize this. Once, a wise man told me one time, once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it.
The detective's wise man friend was clearly a specialist in nuclear fusion, yet most people would already comprehend that a bomb can no longer be defused once it has exploded.
You can't. That's already out
A
there.
wise man once said,
Now is the point to say, how do I put Band-Aids on myself
what is
to
doing?
minimize the injuries I have? And we're giving you that opportunity. I want to give you that opportunity. I don't think you're a bad guy at all. I really don't.
The male detective will now for some reason focus on Grant's flaws and the overwhelming embarrassment of the cam girl situation, which is basically the exact opposite of what he should be doing. He seems to get confused about what he's trying to achieve here. He carries a sympathetic tone while essentially roasting the ever-loving shit out of the suspect.
Roasting.
I think you're going through a very stressful and emotional time right now with being out of work and just dealing with all the problems with the arrest. You're probably not used to depending on somebody to pay all your bills. So now you have your mom and dad having to give you money. Cody's having to give you money. And there's a significant debt to people. $200,000, I don't know what I do. I mean, mortgage, yeah, I get it. Or something like that. Or a medical bill for my child. Yeah, I get it. But talking to some girl, in Bulgaria, you hit it right on the head. You were embarrassed about it. And you have nothing to be embarrassed about. Here it is, man. I want to help you. She want to help you. You gotta come to me with the truth now, because I already know the truth.
There's a reason you didn't go back to the house. There's a reason why you haven't tried to reach out. I mean, it's odd you haven't heard from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's words that like I can't think of to even say. Like I don't know how to even say the words.
Well, give me a roundabout what you're thinking.
That somebody in my family's dead.
And how does that make you feel if you're thinking that?
I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words, because like I said, I've been there for my whole entire life, and even though there's been struggles and everything like that, there hasn't ever been any issues.
There's never been the struggles or the issues like happened Thursday. Never for you. I believe you 100%. I believe it's never been like that. But something happened Thursday, unlike anything you've ever experienced in 29 years of your life. Never.
And maybe you felt that was rock bottom for you. You were getting kicked out of the house. Your father gave you an ultimatum. I mean, that's...
The female detective will now carry out what the male detective was probably trying to do a few minutes ago. She will afford him justifications for the crime, making the gravity of admission less intimidating.
You're already dealing with the debt, and, now you have to stop talking to this girl. and now you're being kicked out of the home, I mean, that's, I can understand how you would feel. I mean, that you'd want to lash out, or, you know, if something happened, you'd want to defend yourself.
Sure. Absolutely.
But we need to know what happened.
I mean, I can tell that you guys are like leading me into a certain way of what.
The only thing we're leading you to is wanting to get the truth from you. Not trying to make you say something that's not true, that's not accurate. The truth, the end. That's it. That's all we want, is the absolute truth.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about what transpired during the nighttime.
So when you left your house, everybody was fine.
Yeah.
And when you left Cody,
everything was fine.
Well, we got called to the house because Cody didn't show up to work. So law enforcement goes over there, and can you tell us what we found?
No, the only thing that I was told was that Cody would take care of it for me. And that's all that I know.
So if anything happened in the home, to bring law enforcement there, what would you think happened?
That there was a shooting.
Between whom?
I don't know.
He correctly describes it.
Between Cody and my dad.
And why would you think that?
To protect me, or to help me, or to do something with me.
Yes, this concept everywhere.
So you're telling me you did not shoot Cody, your father, or your mother?
No. I mean, I don't know, like, what more I can say.
Well, when law enforcement arrived, that's what they found. So you're the only outstanding child. You're the one that's been having problems with your dad. You're the one that we haven't been able to find for 2 days. Do you understand now why we would be questioning you about this?
Yes,
yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't, like, I mean, I wouldn't be saying, like, all, like, I don't know the way to, I don't know, like, what to even say.
So if anything happened in the home, you believe it would be Cody and him?
Yes. Because I don't have, you know, access to anything.
We know that Cody didn't shoot your dad. We know Cody didn't shoot your mom. We know Cody didn't shoot himself. There's something.
And you still haven't asked us the condition of them or anything.
That's because I mean, I don't know what the normal proceedings are, but
The normal proceedings are for you to be honest about what happened.
And then we help you understand everything that's going to go on from here on out, of what our responsibilities are.
And we don't believe you're being honest. We feel that you are leaving something out about what happened in that home.
Still not convincing, I guess.
And the evidence tells us what happened in the home. But you need to fill in the blanks.
The suspect's composure was finally starting to slip. This was the perfect moment to draw out the silence to see how he'd respond to the pressure.
Here's my hand for honesty. I am an honest guy. I'm going to be honest. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to be honest to the very last day that I deal with you. And then when this investigation continues, I'll go on to the next person and be honest with them. I can only do so much with honesty. Honesty.
So what are you not telling us? What happened at that home that you know? Did you leave the house with your brother Cody looking like that? Or did you leave the house with your father looking like that? Or your mother? Is that how you left your family?
No.
With that pictures.
Nobody else went into that house.
Who left your family like this? If you were the one that's been depressed, you were the one that owes money, you were the one that got into a confrontation with your father, who did this to your family? If you were trying to defend yourself or something else happened, we need to know now.
The female detective does an excellent job at affording him the option to admit to a lesser infraction, which in this case is self-defense. She provides the option while simultaneously building pressure. It's a textbook maneuver, and she does it very well.
To help you.
That's pretty good.
So tell us what happened, Grant.
Or...
We're here to listen to you.
Grant, you need the truth. We're here to make this right. You got to tell the truth. It's on the tip of your tongue, my man. I get that.
Did your father go after you and you try to protect yourself?
No, I didn't do any of this.
Hey, I know. Video surveillance tells me everything that happened this night.
Oh,
I'm
no.
telling you.
Didn't check the surveillance.
You'd be surprised who in your neighborhood has video. And I know that there's only 4 people at this house during this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me. You got to tell me, man. You got to tell me. Get over that hoop. The video, if you're sitting there saying no, and video shows something else, guess what? Big problem. Because it will wind up later on that you can't get any help from anybody. A lot of this, what people make decisions on, is honesty. With somebody
I think it's about to solve the
didn't fire a gun, didn't fire a gun, didn't fire a gun. None of them did. None of them did. Cody did not go home.
Or did your father point a gun at you?
No, there's nothing else that I can say.
Your emotions, your demeanor, your body language, your eyes tell me everything I need to see about you. You want to tell me in the worst way. You want to get this pain off your chest. Do it.
I mean, there's just nothing else that I can say.
So your dad had told you in the past before that he would kill you?
Right.
For what reason?
For if I basically did anything related to this, again, costing him a lot of money.
And Cody knew about that?
Right.
So when did you learn that your family was dead?
I had been worried since last night when I was just in the hotel, but
last night?
I knew when you guys told me. I mean, like, I knew when you guys had told me.
You already knew, though.
But I had...
You already said... You knew.
At any point, did you feel like you needed to reach out to Cody and see if he was okay, or...?
No.
I just didn't want to call anywhere. I just didn't want to know.
We understand your father was abusive, and we understand that he was the asshole. And if he threatened you, that he was going to kill you when you came back, you were probably in fear, were you not? So did your brother come home to try and defend you, and then this gunfight happened, and you got so scared that you left?
This version of events would obviously clear Grant of any wrongdoing. The detective is hoping he takes the bait so that he changes his story and can then be placed under arrest for lying to police.
No, I mean, I had left when I had said that I had left.
Yeah.
I just don't know where else to go.
Slowly reeling in.
To get you to come around, because it does not make any logistical sense of what you're telling us. It doesn't. If these two got in a shooting, we would know. We would know they shot each other. We'd know that.
But why Mom?
Things just got so bad and out of hand, like never it's been before in your life. Never been here before in your life, or your family's life. He's pissed. His future, his retirement, his plans are being upset by you because of the financial cost. I would almost bet this is just a horrible, bad incident that on any other day wouldn't happen. But you and me both know, as does she, what happened that night.
I don't have the answer for anything else.
Okay. This is the last time before I'm gonna walk out now, and then I'm done. Then I'm done for good. When I'm done, I'm done.
And I don't have anything else that I can say.
Do you not feel bad for doing this to your family?
I mean, I've been getting blamed for the last half a year for everything, and I've been trying to move forward into a positive direction. And then every day I'm reminded of all the trouble that I had caused. And then I keep being told the same thing over and over again, but there's nothing that I can do to change it.
Do you regret doing this
What's
to
he
each
on
one
about?
of your family members?
I didn't do that to each one of them.
Here, you sit in my seat for a minute. Sit in my seat. Get out of it. Here, sit right here. Come here. Sit right here. Get out of that seat. Sit right there for me.
The suspect still isn't sitting in his seat.
Okay.
Two things that happened here today. Two things. You're a guy swimming out in the middle of the ocean, and we're going to give you one of two things based on you. You can have a life preserver to keep from drowning, or you get the boat anchor. Which one do you want? Because we will give you whichever one you ask for. The life preserver, the boat anchor.
No, I want the life preserver, but I've said everything that I can.
You want it, and I believe you do, but you have not said everything you can say. But there will be a time where you ask for that life preserver. I can't give it to you. I can't.
I'll sit in the theater.
Once I cross a line I gotta step over, can't do it. Won't do it. Think about that. I want to talk to her for a minute. Think about the last life preserver I can give you.
Okay.
Think about it.
That is
Take a few minutes
really.
to reflect on it, and then we'll come back to you in a couple of minutes, and then we'll go from there. And what happens is what happens.
It's in the camera.
You alright, Graham? Okay. Need some food, some water? Good. You good to stay for a while longer? You okay?
I mean, I just don't have anything more that I can say. I don't know what the next...
I'm not keeping you. If you want to stay, well, I'll talk to you till whatever, till you're happy with everything and you're okay. You're not detained. You're not being kept here. Don't want to be here. You don't have to be here.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay. Give me a minute. We'll get you out of here. What we'll do is we'll get you up somewhere. I'll give you my card, my phone number. If you want to talk to me, you're more than welcome to call me. And we'll move forward from there. Fair enough? Any questions of me before I go? Or before we walk out?
No.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Like, what am I allowed to do?
Live your life. Hey man, we're right there at it. Jason's here. It's going to be a few more minutes. What I need to do is just for our investigation, get some pictures of you. We're going to collect your clothing. As soon as that's done, we'll get Jason here to talk to you. All right.
Alright, so I take it you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you plain out. You are not part of it anyway.
No.
When's the last time you saw everybody?
I left the house between midnight and 12:30.
No emotion, okay.
I want to believe you, Grant, but you're the last person that I could put in that house. And I know what happened over the last 6 months. Who else can I blame? How are we going to find out who did this?
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
The shit you did, you could have been in jail. You would have been in jail for years.
I know.
And they covered it up for you. I'm scared for you, and I'm scared for myself, and I don't feel comfortable with you being around me alone. I'm sorry. I could take you physically, but if you have a knife or know where a gun is, I'm fucked. I need you to be honest with me, man. I need to have closure. I was told that you were not to have access to be able to contact this woman. Why do you feel the intent to still contact her?
It was just the whole emotional thing.
All emotional.
Okay. So are you saying that you love the woman?
I feel like I did, yeah.
Okay. You feel like you did, so you don't feel that way now?
Well, I mean, now it's pretty much, it's not what it used to be, is all I can say.
Because she's aware of what has happened in the last several months.
Uh-oh.
It hurt, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't carry that persona that you carried before. I do love you, though. Just remember that. Just like Mom, Cody, and Dad loved you. Nobody loved you any more or any less.
Anything else you need to talk about before we let you go? Because now's your time. You know that. Like Danny said, once you're out of here, there's no coming back from this. We're giving you every opportunity to tell us what happened in that home that you have not told us. So you're aware that when you leave here, you're not going to have any chance to redeem yourself and tell us the truth after the fact.
I understand.
And you're okay with that. You can live with yourself knowing that you're not going to tell us the truth.
I've said what I can say.
Okay.
Okay. So, how do you go from there?
You ready, man?
Collecting evidence or
Question
something?
for you real quick. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt anybody else. No suicidal thoughts. Okay, come on, bud.
Grant was arrested 9 hours later at his hotel. His trial began on August 12, 2019.
Grant Amato was so obsessed with this woman. You're going to see from the evidence in this case, at 2:53 a.m. on January 25th, after leaving the house that contained the 3 dead bodies of his family, the defendant goes to a nearby Publix parking lot, logs onto their Wi-Fi, and uses his dead brother's USA checking account to pay $599.99 to get onto Sylvie's website at 3:02 in the morning. That's what this case is about. It's about his blind obsession with this woman, the end of the world as he believed it to be because of his family, and his absolute contempt for those that he held responsible.
Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
Grant Amato was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
You got what he deserved. He's arrested after 9 months. That's crazy. And it was a very entertaining video. This case was kind of wild though. Isang video, diba,